In a police department interrogation room, shows Phil Hartman and Chris Farley as detectives standing and smoking, with John Belushi as a potential suspect sitting down. Farley: Now, Matt, this is mighty awkward to have you in as a suspect, with you being my former good-time buddy. But we can help you out if you help us out with what happened to Bonnie Johnson. Belushi: I don't know anything about what happened to Bonnie Johnson, and besides, I have an alibi. Farley gets upset, throws a landline phone off the table and yells, Is that a knock about my wife? Belushi laughs and says, No. Jesus, Ryan, you gotta relax about Kirsten. Hartman: Don't worry about what my partner is doing. If you have an alibi, this would be the time to tell us, or you won't be free to leave. Belushi: Well, geez, this is kind of awkward, Detective. Hartman: Yeah, and why is that? Belushi: Well, I do have an alibi, but I don't think you're going to like it. Hartman: Give me your best shot. Belushi: Well, Detective, I've been seeing your wife behind your back, including the night of Bonnie's murder. Hartman takes Belushi's head and throws it down toward the table. Hartman: Johnny! Norm MacDonald, as a police officer, enters the room. Hartman: Arrest my wife and bring her down to the station immediately. MacDonald nods and runs out. Cuts to the three men in the interrogation room, now with the handcuffed Gilda Radner in pajamas being escorted by MacDonald. Belushi: I keep telling you it was a joke. Radner: Baby, I swear, I've never met this guy in my life. Hartman takes a small TV in the corner and smashes it into the wall and yells, Okay, smart guy, why did you say you were having relations with my often promiscuous wife if you were only joking? Belushi: Well, you're really not going to like this. Shows Farley beginning to sweat profusely. Belushi: I was joking when I said I was seeing your wife. But of course Ryan knows I go way back with his wife Kirsten. Farley screams and begins banging the glass wall behind him. Ah! Hartman: Are you screwing around again? Belushi: Kirsten's the one screwing around. I'm not married. Farley: You son of a bitch! Farley spears Belushi off his chair and begins choking him on the ground. Hartman: Johnny, take my wife home. MacDonald discreetly grabs the smiling Radner's ass as he says, With pleasure, Detective. And dead from the earth, we're not alive. It's Saturday Not Alive, starring John Belushi, Chris Farley, Phil Hartman, Jen Hooks, Norm MacDonald, Gilda Radner, Denitra Vance, and with many other special deceased contributors. Musical guest, Jeremiah Green, and your host, Rush Limbaugh. Everybody, Rush Limbaugh. Applause, applause, applause. Limbaugh: Thank you for having me. I was an American conservative political commentator who was the host of the Rush Limbaugh Show, which first aired in 1984 and was nationally syndicated on AM and FM radio stations from 1988 until my death in 2021. Applause, applause, applause. As Limbaugh continues to talk, Philip Seymour Hoffman as Joe King in a voiceover says, Our media partner YouTube has certain hot-button issues that it does not allow certain viewpoints regarding those issues to be expressed, as they have deemed those viewpoints to be misinformation. And I love freedom of speech, but I love staying on air even more. Unfortunately, Mr. Limbaugh happens to have the viewpoints on these hot-button issues that have been banned. Therefore, much of our host monologue will be redacted for content purposes. Limbaugh: But enough about abortion for now. There's three more things I want to talk about. One, the redacted epidemic. 2, the 2020 redacted, and 3, the redacted incident on redacted. First, redacted. Give me a break. Redacted had been making strands of redacted for redacted of redacted research, including having ties to a lab in redacted. The whole thing was redacted, as can be clearly shown by the existence of redacted in 2019. And who did all the mandated rules help? Why, none other than the redacted and the 2020 redacted. Without redacted and redacted, the redacted would not have been able to pull off their redacted in the way that they did. But redacted gave them perfect cover to redacted the redacted via redacted and redacted. And finally, all I have to say about the redacted on redacted is that there were people there with skinny jeans. Skinny jeans! Conservatives don't wear skinny jeans. What really happened was that it was a redacted planned by the redacted in order to make Trump look terrible while he was accusing redacted of redacted the redacted. Unfortunately, the days of being able to call things as you see them seems long gone in our supposedly free society. But thankfully, they let me tell it like it is here. Anyway, the cast is treating me like I'm radioactive, though I was pretty active on the radio. But no one wants to come out for a bit. Therefore, I'll just tell you we have a great show tonight. Jeremiah Green, drummer of the band Modest Mouse, is here, so get ready to float on. We'll be right back.